The Whitetail Institute of North America presents Scent Blocker Most Wanted. Brought to you by the Whitetail Institute of North America. Research equals results. Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Matthews Archery. Bass Pro Shops in Cabela's. Your adventure starts here. Scent Blocker. Nothing gets you closer. And Mossy Oak. It's not a passion, it's an obsession.
Hi folks, on today's show we've switched it up a little bit. We're not chasing bucks, we're chasing birds. That's right, we're hunting with our good friends over at Hang'em Outfitters, and they have a lot of birds. And we talk about birds, that's turkeys and pheasants. You know, Mac and his crew at Hang'em Outfitters, they're plumb ate up with pheasants. But you know, if I lived in Kansas and had as many pheasants running up and down the roads and the fields as they do, I'd be ate up too. They spend about as much time pheasant hunting and turkey hunting as I do, and most of our team does deer hunting all year. You know, when a lot of hunters, especially turkey hunters, head to the woods, they've got their shotgun with them. Well, not the Hang'em Outfitter team. They love their Matthews, and that's exactly what they're using on today's show. You know, while the Hang'em Outfitter guys are chasing birds in Kansas, I decided myself to try to take my first ever turkey with a crossbow. We're hunting in southeast Missouri, basically the Missouri Boot Hills. We're hunting with the Soggy Bottom Boys, and I could tell right away how these boys done got their name. And this is actually a place we're going to turkey hunt this afternoon. And there's you can't get there from here unless you come by boat. They've got a house up here, no running water, no electricity, but we got sleeping bags and we got some victuals, so. Well, these boys definitely knew their way around the swamp, and that afternoon we found a place that we could set up for tomorrow morning, and we felt pretty confident that we're going to have a bird out front of us in first daylight. So when we come back, you're going to see just how things turned out for the next morning for me chasing turkeys in southeast Missouri. Don't go away. We'll be right back with more Scent Blockers Most Wanted right after this.
Scent Blockers Most Wanted is brought to you by Covert Scouting Cameras, a camera for every need and budget. And Premier Farm Realty Group and Auction. Own a slice of America's heartland. Scent Blocker Most Wanted is brought to you by Element Archery, built to hunt. And Thorn Broadheads, driving accuracy through hidden blade technology.
I gotta tell you, bud.
Hey, great job, great job.
Denny, all right, buddy. Well, I will have to say, sometimes you gotta work just a little bit harder to get them. The shot that I made, I thought was pretty good, but he flew back over, and here he was, up against a tree down here. He's probably a 3-year-old bird, you think? A little straggly, but you know what? I thought he looked pretty good out there.
He did look good out there.
You know, I found out hunting with a crossbow instead of a shotgun, it's just a lot more fun. I enjoy it, and that's what hunting's all about. Do what you want to do. And I tell you what, the folks over at Hang'em Outfitters, well, they like the challenge too, because they was off to the woods for their spring turkey hunt, and they was doing the same thing. They had their Matthews and their Mission crossbows, and they're about to put the smack down on some big old Kansas birds.
So it's April 24th here in Kansas, and I'm here hunting with my cousin Grant. He came in on Sunday evening to hunt a couple days. He's leaving Thursday, but it's my turn to get a gobbler down. Well, as you can see, I put the herd on the gobbler this morning. This is actually a pretty special place for me. I shot my first deer with a rifle way back when, about 100 yards from here. I shot my first ever turkey about 100 yards from here. I shot my first deer with a bow about 100 yards from here. And then I shot my first turkey with a bow right over here, and it's pretty special.
ScentBlocker's Most Wanted is brought to you by IM Performance Nutrition, fueling the outdoor athlete, and Matthews Archery. ScentBlocker Most Wanted is brought to you by Mission by Matthews, and Kirsch Targets. Train smart, finish strong.
It is May 19th here in Kansas, and we are trying to still get a bird on the ground. So we're switching it up tonight. We're actually in an elevated pop-up blind, and we're just hoping that something comes in. It's a little toasty. The nights are long, but that's what turkey season's all about. We have the Mission Sub 1 out tonight, keeping the guns away, trying to get an arrow through something. Yeah. Well, we had an eventful, unplanned turkey hunt this evening here in Kansas. It is late May. It's tough to get out. The weather's tough. They're not responding as well. But Braden and I packed up, brought the Mission Sub 1, and I had 2 birds on the ground. We got one fairly early, the second one right before sunset. Couldn't ask for a better evening. Thorn broadheads did their jobs on our element arrows. All in all, beautiful evening. You can't ask for much more this late season in May.
You know, as you can see on today's turkey hunts, you don't always have to be in the woods to be killing gobblers. You know, we love to, for filming purposes as much as anything, love to hunt turkey, either in food plots or agricultural fields. And why? It shows birds doing what they're supposed to be doing, coming from a long ways, fluffed up, strutted up, and yelping and gobbling. And that's where the turkeys are loving to hang out. And why? That's their primary food source, especially in the spring. As any wildlife farmer knows, natural chow can be scarce in late winter and early spring, so turkeys will seek out the best food source in their own home range. And that's why they're always out there picking and grabbing and snatching something, because that's where they want to be. You know, a turkey hunter really wants to look at where these birds are going to be, and it's usually a mix of timber and open fields. You know, we love to key on Whitetail Institute clover for one reason. It seems to, especially in the summer, also not only a food source, but attracts insects, and that even makes it better. So for the few weeks that we put out really good food plots for our deer to make deer hunting better, well, it also will make your turkey hunting that much better too.
Scent Blockers Most Wanted is brought to you by Pure Whitetail, 1 deer directly to 1 bottle, and Old Oaks Outfitters, Indiana's premier hunting destination. Scent Blockers Most Wanted is brought to you by Ford and your quality Ford dealers. Mossy Oak, it's not a passion, it's an obsession. Tree Spider, the new world of tree stand safety. The Heartland Archery Series, made by hunters for hunters. Finlayson Lake Resort and Campground, making your dreams real. And Doug Myers Taxidermy, the official taxidermist of Scent Blockers Most Wanted.
You know, as I said earlier, we're heading west to hunt pheasants over in the state of Kansas with Mac, and I'm a man of my word, so stay tuned.
January 30th, and pheasant season here, Kansas ends on the 31st. So being a guide, we don't get much chance to carry the gun. So we went out this morning, got into some good pheasants, great dog work. You know, dogs are only as good as many birds you put in front of them. Not many dogs see many more birds than ours do in a season. So they made it up for pretty easy work this morning. So now we're gonna get out, get in the tree rows, hopefully bump into some quail. I think we're 1 pheasant shy of our limit, and we're about 10 quails shy of our limit. So we'll see what we can do, get after them, and yeah, see if we can shoot straight again.
Good dog. Here.
We changed our location in Kansas. We came down to a friend of ours' farm, got set up, moved this blind in, put our decoy up, And we didn't even get to do an intro. We had a Tom and 2 Jakes running all over the place. We had 2 Jakes come in, they attacked our decoy, and they probably fought with him for 15 minutes. It was pretty comical. So they finally wandered off, and 2 hens and 2 toms just come running out of nowhere. This one made a mistake, came in about 15 yards, and once again, I cannot praise the way that these thorn broadheads fly anymore. They are perfect. This shot could not have been placed any better. Bird ran about 20 yards, flopped over. Thorn took care of it. The combination with the Element Archery Quake arrows and my Matthews bow, yeah, this turkey didn't have much of a chance.
Well, this was kind of a crazy show. Definitely a little different and a lot of wing flapping going on. But I'll tell you what, I got to thank Shelby, Mac, and Braden for the job that they did over in Kansas. And for me, I'm Bob Richardson. We're going to see you somewhere next week right here on Scent Blockers Most Wanted.